Welcome back to Crypto 618 channel, and in today's video we're going to take a look at Alpaca Finance, leverage farming on BNB and Fantom. But before we get started, if you would like to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. Let's get into it. So Alpaca Finance, let's jump into the website now. Leverage yield farming by the alpacas for the alpacas. So I'll just read this to you. Alpaca Finance is the largest lending protocol allowing leverage yield farming on BNB chain and Fantom. It helps lenders earn safe and stable yields and offers borrowers under collateralized loans for leverage yield farming positions, vastly multiplying their farming principles and resulting profits. So let's jump into the app. Always check out the docs. I will link to the docs as well. Let's jump into the actual app itself and we'll go through some points. So the first point I want to make is that lending, farming and staking. Those are the three main uses for Alpaca Finance. So I'll go through them first. So I'll go back to the app. So on the lend section here in the menu, you'll see all the lending pools. Okay, and the way this works is what you do is you have an asset and you deposit that into these pools, and you'll get these IB tokens, which are essentially receipts, and you'll earn yield. So we'll jump back over here. As you can see here, let's pretend you've got some BUSD, or maybe you've got some USDT as well. And what you'll do is you'll come along and deposit this using this little button here. You'll deposit this into the pool. So currently there is about $102 million worth of BUSD here. And for USDT, it's about 123 million. So you go ahead and deposit here, and this is the APY that it pays out. Now there is APY, and that is broken down from the lending and the staking. So the lending is 3.82% and the staking is 0.285, which is a total of 4.11. So what you could do to get this sort of yield, you could deposit here and then you'll receive those IB tokens. So in this case, let's say you put in BUSD, you'll receive IB BUSD, this one here. If you put in USDT, you'll receive IB USDT, and so on and so forth. And then once you deposit that, this IB BUSD token, for example, the way these tokens work is that they're dynamically got the APY built into them. So you'll be earning while you've got your deposit in here. And the second step will be come along and stake, which we'll cover in a minute. So you can easily lend your assets to Alpaca Finance and earn yield. So if you had that BUSD, we could get between 3 to 4% per annum on that. So then you've got farming. So to farm, and you can farm pools without leverage, or you can farm pools with leverage. So if you want to check out the pools, you just come along to farm. At the moment there's 51 active pools available, all different ones. We can have a look at stables. Look, this is all the pools here, but we can click and filter by stables, for example. We come down and have a look at this one here, which is USDT and BUSD. Two stable coins, currently paying 12.96%, which is pretty cool. Now the way this works is it explains that you'll get 4.49 from the yield farming. Trading fees will be about 54%. You'll get 1.78% from Alpaca rewards. This borrowing interest is to do with how much you leverage. So at the moment, if we change this back to 1, you'll see that we have no borrowing interest whatsoever. So we'll be earning around about 10%, or in this example, if we don't borrow anything. And we would just click on this farm. So I'll show that first. So if we click on farm now, you'll scroll down. You can supply either of the assets. So let's say we just had $1,000 worth of USDT. We type that in there. We are at 1x leverage, so we're not borrowing really any money. And you can see the type of yield and all the details here. Scroll down, and because we're not borrowing any money, our asset supplied is $1,000, and it creates the LP, which is made up of half of each. and it shows how much is in the pool. And by doing this, we're going to be making, roughly that 10% on like over 12 months on our $1,000, which is pretty cool. But where the leverage part comes in is where you can borrow, and it's really easy to do that. Obviously, there's risks involved, but you can just switch this leverage right up to 6x. And what this does is you still have your $1,000 USDT that you're supplying. Now that you leveraged 6x, all these increase, and also something that you didn't have before, which was the borrowing interest. So you've got to pay back this interest for the amount that you're borrowing. But you'll notice how now we're getting a slightly higher APY, so we're getting just over 12%. And you might be thinking, well, what's the point of that? Well, the difference is now we've only supplied $1,000 worth of assets here, but you can see how we've got 5,000 borrowed, and the total is around about 6,000 because you've got 3 here and about 3 here. So we're on this $6,000 we have now. We'll be earning the 12% interest, and that's the cool part because we only put in the $1,000 initially. And if we left that in there and all things being equal, we would only expect to maybe make $120 over the course of the year on our $1,000. But if we use this leverage, we can make a lot more than that because you're actually getting, instead of getting the 12% on the $1,000, you're actually getting it on the $6,000, which is the total supplied. And by doing that, essentially you're getting that 12% on that $6,000, which is a lot more than 12% on $1,000. So you're basically getting 6x your return on stable coins. So this is the thing that's very attractive if you want to farm stables. Click on this little simulator, and this will tell you here that if we put in 365 days, we'll earn about 12%. And this is assuming that USDT or BUSD, either of those don't actually change in price. So if they do for some reason come off peg, most likely you'll be liquidated. On this here shows about 25% for liquidation rate against USDT. So if for any reason they depeg, then you will most likely lose your complete position, and that is the danger of yield farming, especially leveraged yield farming on stablecoins. So that is the advantage of that. Let's jump into the next one. So that's the with and without leverage. The last thing you can do is stake your IB tokens and earn Alpaca rewards. So after you after you put your USDT or BUSD, you get these IB tokens. And then what you can do is you come over to stake, and you can come along and stake these to receive Alpaca. So if we come down here, let's say for example we've got BUSD, because that's what we were earning interest on. We would then come along here and stake our IB BUSD, and we would actually receive an additional APY here. So it's 0.275% of rewards. So it is only a tiny amount of APY, but you do get some Alpaca earned from that. Some of the other ones are a little bit higher, but that's just another way that you can earn Alpaca rewards. Otherwise, the receipts would just, like those IB tokens, would be just sitting in your wallet doing nothing. So I think that's all I wanted to cover today, but check out the documentation for this, and you will be able to go through, like they've got a whole academy that you can have a look through all the different ways that you can earn on Alpaca Finance. And I've just shown you probably just a couple of different ways, maybe 2 or 3 different ways to earn. So it's really cool. I've been using this platform for some time, and yeah, I really like it. So if you have any questions or any comments about Alpaca Finance, please put them in the comments below. And if you've liked today's video, give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. You can always support the channel by clicking this little button up here in the top right hand corner, support the channel. And this will take you to our private Discord where we talk about all these sort of projects. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter and receive these videos sent to your inbox daily. So with that, I will talk to you in the next video. Talk to you then. Bye.